So very good morning to everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Welcome to our first ever webinar where we'll teach you how to set up your own digital events. Today we will explain how our webinar solution works, how to set up your booking pages, and how to make it as easy as possible for your customers to register and pay. We should be finished within 30 to 45 minutes. In this webinar, we will cover the following areas: how event organisers have adapted in the past year and how you can also, how to set up your own booking page utilising our new webinar system, how to use Participant alongside other webinar solutions, and we'll also open up for a Q&A. We have a few questions that were sent in ahead of the meeting, and we also have the Q&A chat window open, so feel free to send us in questions at any point during the webinar, and we will answer these at the end. So just to introduce myself briefly, hi, I'm Jamie Kingston, and I take care of the marketing for Participant as well as providing support to the customers.
Hello everyone, I'm Roger Birchenough. I'm the Managing Director at Participant UK. I'm just going to start things off with a little background information about Participant, essentially who we are and what we do. I appreciate that some of you on this call are existing customers of ours. I'm just looking to learn more about this new bit of functionality. But I'll start from the beginning really. So Participant UK has provided an online booking system since 2002, so for almost 20 years now, and is used for all types of events ranging from conferences, seminars, training courses, right through to after-school clubs, sporting activities and kids' holiday camps. Payments are integrated within the system, so you don't need to arrange a separate third-party payment provider. Obviously, as well, the way events are delivered has changed a lot during the pandemic. And so we've now integrated Participant with ClickMeeting to offer a complete webinar solution. But the solution also works very well, incidentally, for hybrid events, by which I mean where people can attend either physically or online. We'll cover that a little bit more later on. For those of you that are already delivering online events through an alternative platform, such as Zoom or Teams, you can simply use the booking payment and delegate management element of Participant and just link this to your existing delivery provider. We thought it would be useful to quickly cover the positives from 2020. And yes, there were a few. Throughout last year, we were amazed really how quickly event organisers were able to adapt to the new restrictions in order to continue providing their events digitally through Participant with really great interest from their customers, the end users. Many organisers started webinars and live streams to provide virtual events such as virtual training courses, digital consultations, corporate and academic conferences. And we even had some people live streaming of football matches through Participant. We also saw organisers offering sport training activities, which their customers could participate in from their own homes, whether that's football training, sort of fitness, or yoga, Pilates, those sort of things. And those also proved very popular as well. Some of our customers, some of the organisers through Participant used help from professional film teams to deliver their service, but to be honest, the majority simply deliver their services themselves using webinar platforms such as ClickMeeting and Zoom and so on. Do you have anything else to add at this point, Jamie?
Yes, so we've seen that digital events are still very popular, and we do believe this will continue after the pandemic. It provides cost saving as well as opportunities for a much larger audience, since you don't have to target a specific area. Whilst we do hope that things will get back to normal after the summer, because webinars will of course never replace physical attendance completely, we do believe that there are good opportunities to continue webinars as time progresses. Now I will show you a short 4-minute video which will guide you through how to set up an online event and also how to register and track your participants.
Here is a quick walkthrough of how to set up digital events within Participant UK. Start by logging into your organiser account. Then go to the menu on the left hand side and click on Add/Copy to enter your event setup. Start by typing the name of your event. You will get the choice to set up a physical, online or hybrid event. A physical event means that your participants will attend in person. This choice gives you the opportunity to attach a QR code to the order confirmation for contactless check-in of your participants. If you choose an online event, your participants will receive a unique link to your webinar or meeting by email automatically after their registration. If you would like your participants to choose between physical or online attendance on the registration page, you can set up a hybrid event. If you choose an online or hybrid event, you will also get the choice between accessing a meeting or webinar room. Go ahead and enter the information about your event. At the bottom of this page, you can change the design of your registration page. Here you can also enter a banner image and text to describe your event. Once all the information has been entered, you can go to the next step. Here you can see that you have received 2 new links. This is the link to your registration page. You can edit the shortcut if you wish. Below you see a link to your webinar. This is your personal link, which you will use to enter your webinar room as a presenter. Here you can set up your tickets. In this walkthrough we are planning for a hybrid event. Then you can enter tickets for online and physical attendance with different prices and registration limits. Under Fields, you can build a registration form based on the information you need from your participants. There are already some default fields that you can deactivate or activate to make them visible on your registration page. In addition, you can choose Add New Information field if you need a more advanced registration form. Go to the next step to finish your event setup. Here you can make settings for the registration page and for the order confirmation. When you have finished this page, you will be able to publish your event. You will receive a confirmation page followed by links to your registration page and to your webinar room. By following the link to the registration page, we can go in and make sure that everything is shown as intended or identify any possible changes that need to be made. You can return to your event layout at any time to adjust the content. If you follow the link to the webinar room, you can go in and see what the layout will look like. You will see a number of functions that you can use during your event. Here you can, among other things, share camera and audio, share content from your screen, divide the participants into their own breakout rooms, and you can conduct surveys and share films from YouTube. In addition, you will see an overview of your participants and you can use the chat below. Here, you and your participants can write to each other and raise their hands. If you activate Q&A, you will also select questions in a separate window. Thank you for watching this guide on how to set up a hybrid event.
Okay, thank you very much for watching that. I hope you found it useful. I'll now play you a second video, which will last for approximately 1 minute, which will guide you through how your customers will register online.
Here is a quick guide to show you how you can easily sign up and join an online event. To register for an event, you will use the registration form. Here, you must enter the information as asked and select the ticket category you would like. If the event costs money, you will be sent to a new payment window after clicking confirm. Once the payment has been processed, you will receive a message confirming your registration. Shortly afterwards, you will receive an email with your order details. You will also receive an email with a unique link to the event. It is important that you take care of this email, as this gives you personal access to the event. If you follow the link before the webinar starts, you will see a similar page to this, telling you when the event begins. This was a simple review of how to register for an event through the participant webinar software. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so what we'll do now is to take a closer look at how to use participant in conjunction with other webinar solutions. We're obviously integrated with ClickMeeting, so if you are new to the webinar delivery and you want a simple one-stop shop, then the full solution that we offer with ClickMeeting might be the best option for you, because then you don't need to go and get a license and a relationship with a provider. However, if you are already using an existing provider, that's fine, because we can just interact with your existing provider. The most appropriate way to do this really is to run the registration sales process through participant, and then send out the webinar link either in the automated confirmation email that goes out at the point of sale, or in a manual email that you can send out at a later date. Whichever option you decide upon, all the emails can be sent directly from your participant solution to the delegates, thereby sort of streamlining your event administration, so you don't have to really remember to do it at a later date. The next demo, I think, will show you how to do this. So, Jamie, if you want to run that clip, please. I think it's another short video.
In this video, I will show you how to send an event link to your participants. This is relevant to you if you conduct online events with other webinar software and take your bookings and payments online through Participant UK. Start by logging into Participant UK so that you can access your event overview. You can do this by clicking View Events in the menu on the left hand side. Then you can either search for your event or click directly onto it from the overview. Here you will click on Settings. In these boxes you can enter additional text to the order confirmation email. The participant will receive this after registration. In the order confirmation you could, for example, enter the webinar link or tell the participants when and how they will receive their link. We recommend that you use the first text box to enter important information, as this field will appear above the order summary. In the text box below the order summary, we can, for example, enter "See you soon." This text will be below the order summary in their confirmation. Once this is done, click Save. Once a participant has signed up, the following order confirmation will follow the order. Here you can see the text we entered in the top text box, and here you can see what we posted below. When approaching the event date, it is important to follow up with your participants with the correct meeting link. For this, you can use Participant UK's communication tool. Find the event from which you would like to send a message to your participants. Click on Send a Message. Here you can choose to filter the message to specific participants. For example, if you want to send messages to those who have selected a specific ticket category. Enter the subject for the email. Enter the text that contains the link to your online event. Check that everything is correct, then finish by clicking Send. It may take a few minutes before you see the message in the overview. The email the participant receives will look like this. This was a simple review of how to follow up with your participants for you if you were planning to conduct an online event with a third-party webinar and meeting solution. Thank you for watching.
Okay, thanks for watching that. Again, I hope you found that useful. So as you saw, the communication tool can be used for you to keep in touch with your participants, and you can also follow up with them after the webinar if you wish. So if you want to streamline the process alongside other solutions, you can use Zapier to set up automated workflows for large providers such as Zoom. You'll just need to connect the registration information to Zapier, which will then send the participants over to the correct web space. Again, if anyone is interested in this, then by all means contact us and we can pick this up individually over the next few days. So we're now opening up for a Q&A session where we will address the questions we received initially from the registration page, and also any that have been asked during the webinar, and we're still open if you want to add any questions now.
Okay, well, I've just seen one question which I can just answer straight away. It says, will you send us the videos after the webinar? Yes, we will. We'll follow this up in a minute, early afternoon, with the follow-up email with all the links to the 3 videos and then a sort of short summary of what we discussed here. So you'll all receive that a little bit later on today. Okay, let's start with a few questions that came in on the registration forms over the last few weeks and days. First question we got was, who can set up digital events? Well, the answer is anyone, provided they feel it's relevant to their business and their offering, and essentially they've got a good internet connection, and away they go. We have customers that are using our webinar solution to run, as I said before, online training courses in order to continue to provide their service and generate a revenue stream during the pandemic. We also have others that are running free events for their members to A, justify continuing to charge a monthly fee, membership fee, and B, to retain them so when they are allowed back to physical events, they still have some customers willing and able to return. So there's various reasons. You don't need to invest in expensive hardware, as the delivery platforms such as ClickMeeting and the others all offer excellent functionality. So it is really straightforward to set it up and to run. So again, feel free to reach out to us. We can explain it all in more detail. What else do we have here? Another question. What are your customers saying they plan to do when restrictions are lifted? That's an excellent question. Got a mixed response, really. Some customers are saying they will return completely to physical events as soon as they're allowed to, and stop online delivery. But these are mainly those that provide activities such as dance, gymnastics, football, horse riding, and the like, primarily for children. So they want to get them back out there. For our corporate and academic customers, many are saying they plan to keep offering online and/or hybrid events alongside their physical events. Reasons given for this range from providing a lower cost and green option, as no travel or accommodation is required. They can also attract overseas delegates, which is proving a significant opportunity for some of our customers. And also they can have more attendees without needing access to a large venue or really increase costs themselves. So there's various reasons, but also physical events will return at some stage as soon as practical as well, but they're certainly not going to be the only option moving forward to the new normal over the coming months and maybe even years. One other question that came in advance, the fairly predictable. How much does your solution cost? Thought people would ask this. Well, essentially, there are 2 elements to this. Firstly, there is the system license fee, which varies depending on the level of functionality, customization, and support you require. To be honest, it's probably best to discuss this on a case-by-case basis after the webinar, so I can go into more detail with you, but we're not talking huge numbers here. The second element is the variable pay-as-you-go transaction fee, which applies to all paid registrations going through our system. So we charge a set fee of 83p per registration as our fee. And then there is also the card processing fee for online payments, which applies to any online payment regardless of the provider, which in our case ranges between 2.5 and 3.5% of the event price. Again, that depends on a number of factors, sort of volume, level of license fee, and so on. So these sort of pricing questions, probably more practical to have those on a one-by-one basis, because it really does depend on what you're looking for from the system. But our model is very much one of building long-term relationships, which is why we keep the system license fee as low as we can. So there are minimum fixed costs to you as a business. Do we have any other questions posted, Jamie?
Okay, so we've got a few I can see here in the chat, so let's go over to those. So one question we have here is, what is the difference between a meeting and a webinar? So a webinar, as you've seen today with this example, is much more if you're looking to present to your customers and then interact with them by methods such as Q&A, whereas a meeting is much more involving your customers in terms of you will all be chatting together in the room. So both are options you can use through Participant, and as you saw in the video, it's just a case of selecting the one you would like on when you're setting up the registration form.
Okay, so what's we have here? The cost, I think we've covered that one. Hopefully, Thomas asked that one, so hopefully we've covered that one for you, Thomas. If you need anything further, please do reach out to me afterwards. Can't see this one. What functionalities do I get access to in the webinar room? That's in the ClickMeeting webinar room. Well, there's a whole host of things. So the presentation boards, you can whiteboards. There's screen sharing. You can record it. You can run surveys. Obviously the Q&A. There's a whole suite of products on there that are available to you. Where are we now? Questions are flying in. Try to keep up with them.
Shall I take?
Yeah. Do you want to carry on, Jamie? Just try to find the next one.
Okay, sure thing. So we've got a question here. Will you be adding Zoom as a platform anytime soon? So as you saw in the webinar, we've integrated with ClickMeeting, which provides the seamless transition. But you can also use Zoom alongside Participant. It's very easy to do. It's just a case of setting up an event as you saw during the videos. And then instead of using ClickMeeting, you would just use your own Zoom link and enter that into the order confirmation. So essentially, you can use the system alongside any webinar provider, and it's just a case of making sure your customers have the link.
Okay, so the question here: will the URL to the participants be unique? Yes, it will. Another question: how many participants can access one webinar? Okay, so for the webinar, you can have up to 100 participants access a webinar or presentation. That's the option whereby participants can interact via web chat, and up to 4 visible presenters will be available via the camera, similar to what we're doing here now. If you do have an event that's going to have over 100 people, then if you want to contact us about that, we do have the functionality to deal with that, but it's just not a sort of standard option. But it's something that can be, we can assist you with. It's not probably just need to switch it on in the background for you. Can I receive participants from outside the UK? Yeah, yes, you can. Yeah, and we do have customers already that are doing that. It's just a unique link. Obviously, the only thing that to bear in mind for a live event is any time differences, but obviously you can record your events as well. But so people from Europe or so on should be a major difference. If you've got people attending from the Far East and Australasia, they might not want to watch it live, but you never know. Do you want to pick that one up, Jamie, about the layout to the confirmation emails?
Okay, so as you saw, the best way to add in text is to either add it above or below the main bulk of the confirmation, and that can be done in the advanced settings within the registration page. In terms of any branding changes, you can attach files to the confirmation, but if you're looking to have customized branding, then you would just need to send that over to us, and it's something our developers can sort out for you. So there are a few different ways you can modify that, but in terms of text changes, that is something you can very easily do yourself.
And the other one, I know that just that you ask a few questions here, Marissa, which is great, but obviously as an existing participant customer, we can reach out to you after this and go into it in more detail should you wish. Got your contact details, obviously. How often do I get my earnings? Good point. So the way that the payment works is we collect the payments on your behalf, and the money goes into our separate client account. And then once a week, we pay the money into your bank account, the bank account that you've given us when you set up your event. You can have multiple bank accounts and multiple budget codes. So you can pay the money into the bank account of your choice. You'll get a settlement report on a weekly basis explaining all the money for that week and where it's come from and who's paid it, a line by line settlement, and the money will be paid into your bank account. Hits your bank account every Friday.
Okay, so I've got a question here, which is participant integrated with MailChimp? So whilst there's no integration as such, there are very easy ways that you can use MailChimp alongside our solution. So firstly, if you're just looking to send out communications to your customers, we do have a feature for that within our system. So you would just go to the event that you'd like to send the communications from, and then you can send an email to all everyone registered on, and you can attach files if you need to there. In terms of using the system with MailChimp, it's very easy from participant to export the details of your customers to Excel. So you could run a custom export and just take details, for example, their first name, last name, email address. And then you would just import that to MailChimp as a CSV file. And then you've essentially got all your participants in a MailChimp list there.
It's worth bearing in mind that there is through the participant system, there's a communication tools functionality from which you can send emails and SMS messages through the system. By default, we're not an email messaging system. We're not sophisticated as MailChimp in that regard. So it depends on what level of functionality and sophistication you require. If you wanted to put through MailChimp, that's simple, as Jamie's just explained. But if you want to send sort of fairly straightforward communications, that can be done through participant. Okay, do we have any more questions coming in? If you can't think of one now, or one comes to you over the coming hours and days, please do get in touch with us. As I said, Jamie's going to send out a follow-up email shortly with all the video clips on there and sort of how to get back in touch with us and so on. So yeah, feel free to get back and ping some questions back to us.
Okay. That's brilliant. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. I hope you found the webinar helpful. After the webinar, as Roger's just mentioned, we will follow up with links to the videos, which we'll make available on YouTube, and also any more useful information we can add. And as an extra thank you to those of you who choose to sign up for our webinar solution, we're happy to help you set up your first few registration pages to make sure everything's exactly as you'd like it. And then you can also use those as templates when you're setting up future events. So it's a big time saver for you.
Yeah, that's it. So thanks once again for attending. Please do get in touch should you have any further questions or would like a more in-depth conversation with us about either the functionality or the pricing or anything that you've picked up today. You can contact us at hello@participant.co.uk or respond to the email that's going to be sent out. Those of you that are already current participant customers, feel free to get in touch with your regular participant contact. We can pick it up from there. So that's it. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Thanks. Goodbye.